been very, very tough and difficult to make ends meet. It's been difficult. Business is off probably by 60%. So if they don't buy, I can't pay salaries. I can't pay bills. It's much more difficult.
They should help all these people who will lose money or who have lost money already through their banks. Because these banks just being greedy and aggressive, and they are hiding what they have been doing, like all the default or losing or stuff like that. And I don't feel it's right for this government to spend that kind of money for big banks instead of helping the smaller people to whom maybe $20,000 is a matter of life and death.
Not a lot of money are used to bail like average people who are facing personal financial crisis. They're not doing any good for them. And it's not fair to regular people because they're not supposedly getting the benefit out of it.
So I want to sell the house, but it's very difficult because everybody is saying, well, because economy is going to go down and we don't want to buy a house. And now they said, well, we don't have money, we cannot borrow the money from the bank, and also real estate will go down even just lower than current. So
it's the average people that we want to protect, not just the big corporations, I think. I think there should be a wall between consumers' deposit and how companies invest them. Deregulation is not necessarily a good thing. It gives them a lot of room for imagination, but at the same time, the room for imagination is how these banks make money, make their big bucks. It's good for them, so we're just average people who are actually paying the prices of bailing out these big companies, and that's where a lot of the disagreement comes from. A lot of taxpayers are disappointed about how they're using their money. A lot of companies took the money and just paid a big dividend to their senior management, basically.
Back, if you spend more than you take in, at some point it's going to catch up with you, and you're going to have to find a way to cover deficits. It's not a question of just printing money. It's a question of being solvent and being credit worthy.
You cannot go out of the way and spend as much as you want and expect other people to save you when bad things happen. You're funding a $700 billion program. And how much is the deficit now? It's like $4 trillion or $6 trillion. How are you going to finance that? Like, you're not making your ends meet. Like, that's just going to push a lot of debt, a lot of loan, a lot of financial responsibilities to our younger generation and to our kids. Like, how are they going to do that? If they're in debt already, how are they going to finance themselves into starting a business? There's no way.
So I don't think it's good to spend more than you take in.
All these banks are going to just collapse, and a lot of people lose jobs, and also ordinary people who keep their money in bank and stock, all this money, financial institutions will lose, and already a lot of people is losing that, and it will affect the entire world.
It's a lot of money. They don't know how to finance it, and that's just going to add a lot of pressure to the taxpayer, basically. And that's average people like us who just started on Wall Street.
I don't think the country will collapse. I think we'll go into a deep recession if it continues.
Well, I hope that this crisis will teach a lesson to greedy people